Views expressed are solely those of the speaker and not necessarily those of Paltalk.com, AVM Software, or its advertisers.
News Talk is online. News Talk Online is a production of Paltalk.com, the largest multimedia interactive program on the internet with more than 4 million unique users on demand on iTunes and on YouTube and on my blog, GaryBaumgarten.com, where you're encouraged to post your comments. Whether you agree with yours truly or not, no retribution. And thanks to our good friends at CRN Digital Talk Radio, we're syndicated to an additional 12 million households. I am your host, Gary Baumgarten. I welcome you to the show. Boy, we got a lot of stuff in the news. If you go to GaryBaumgarten.com and check the Twitter feed or log on to Twitter and follow me, Gary Baumgarten, you will see that I've just been a busy little beaver today telling you things that are going on around the world that you may or may not hear about on the evening news tonight. There are a couple of things I wanted to discuss because I find that you, ladies and gentlemen, have an opportunity to purchase a brand new car at less than the cost that the dealer paid for the car when he purchased it in order to put it on his lot and sell it to you. Because Chrysler Corporation has told 789 dealers, you're losing your franchise license as of next Tuesday, which means they've already purchased the cars. You know, they don't get these cars on consignment. They purchase them. Now they have the cars, they got to get rid of them. It's basically a fire sale as a result of the Chrysler bankruptcy, the reorganization. They have to pare down the number of dealers that they have. So you can go to any of those dealers. You can actually purchase a car for less than he paid for it because he's closing up shop. Doesn't do him any good to keep it on those vehicles on hand. It's a going out of business sale at 800 dealerships across the United States of America. I don't know, Boaz, is that something that you would do? You're a pretty frugal guy. You figure out ways to save costs on things. Would you buy a new car from a dealership that's going out of business? I presume the warranty would still be honored at another dealership.
Well, Gary, the warranty would be honored. There's no question about that. And, you would get service for the car. That's not a problem. I mean, today people don't really care whether the parts are going to come from third world countries because most of it already does. But I would say that it's probably a good deal to go out and get a Chrysler car. In fact, I myself have been looking into one of two cars. One would be the Chevy Malibu, which I've been looking at for a while, and the other one, which is not out yet, which is supposed to be out in probably plus minus a year, would be the Chevy Volt. But I'll tell you what, I'm a little apprehensive about it, Gary. In these times, I'm a little bit apprehensive. I still, I'll tell you, Gary, I still insist on buying an American car. And I've always liked Chevys, never liked Ford. I know you're a Ford guy yourself, Gary, but I personally don't like Ford. I would have liked to have stick with Chevy, but I just feel bad. I feel pretty bad for them, very bad for them, for what's going on here. Now, as for the this fire sale,
it's no longer General Motors. It's GM now stands for Government Motors, and
yeah.
And if you favor a General Motors vehicle, as you seem to be leaning, you ought to wait until the fire sale starts with GM, because they just went into bankruptcy, and when they emerge, they're going to be reorganizing, probably closing dealerships as well. So the same thing comes true. I'll tell you, here are the two issues. One, you got to be careful if you're buying a car and the dealer says to you, I'll pay off the remainder of the note on the old car in order to get you to buy this car. They sometimes will do that. Don't trust a dealer that's going out of business because he's not going to pay that note for you. The other issue is, of course, if it's the dealership happens to be in your neighborhood and they're closing, then when you need that service, you're going to have to drive to another area to get your car serviced under warranty. So That's an issue. And I would think that the third issue would be the resale of that vehicle. Who knows where Chrysler is going to be when you're ready to give that car up? People typically, when they buy new cars now, they keep them for 3 years, used to be 2. When it comes time to, flip that car at the end of that lease or at the end of 3-year period, you may not get out of it what you normally would have because the value of the Chrysler vehicles may not
Actually,
be there.
Gary, the value of Chrysler cars has already gone down just because Chrysler is in in a bad situation. Doesn't necessarily mean that that they're not have gone into bankruptcy yet. Just the fact that the economy is bad and there are rumors flying all over the place with American car manufacturers is more than enough to bring the prices down and to start rumors like where is this car dealership or service going to be in 5 years from now, let's say. I mean, rumors are enough
Right.
to really destroy the reputation.
Well, of course here. Somebody typed in our virtual auditorium in text that their plan is to service their cars themselves, but these new cars you can't. It's not like the old day when you used to pull the car into your driveway or push it up your driveway with the help of your friends. Pop the hood and mess around with the carburetor. Add a little fuel to the carburetor. Now pump, pump, pump. Okay, now try to start it now. Or spray that stuff in there to get it to ignite, or change the spark plugs. You can't do that anymore. You have to take these vehicles to a trained service representative and plug it in. They're computers
Everything is
now.
computerized. Absolutely, it's not
And
it's not as easy
you
to do
can't.
that.
There's no such thing as a backyard mechanic any longer unless the car is vintage like you and me. So what do you guys think? Would you purchase a Chrysler? The good news is you can buy it at less than the price that the dealership paid for it. And I feel bad for those. I mean, can you imagine being a dealer for decades for Chrysler Corporation? You go and you buy a car on good faith. You're going to sell it. You got it on your lot. You got 100 cars, maybe 150, maybe 200 cars in your inventory. And Chrysler sends you a notice that says, sorry, we're pulling your franchise. You're no longer authorized after Tuesday to sell those vehicles. Excuse me? Are you kidding me? Well, that's what they're doing. Frankly, I don't think they should do that. I think they should let the economy sort this part of it out themselves. If I, as a Chrysler dealer, can succeed, I should be able to sell your cars. If I can't, then, of course, I have to close up shop myself. Don't understand that. Story number 2, and I'm going to bring Alan Jacey in to talk about this and explain why this president, who has been so successful in almost every piece of legislation that he has tried to push through, because he's in his infancy of his administration, A, and people want to play along with the new president, and B, the Democrats have control of both the House and the Senate, but the Republicans seem to be closing ranks on his health care plan. They